Hi, Richard here. This is my setup for boring the holes into these stool legs for the cross rail, which I haven't finished shaping, but just as an example. And you want to make sure this rail is going to be parallel to the bottom of the seat here, and also that the rail isn't going to cause the legs to splay or be out of symmetry or asymmetrical. So this is how I've done it. It's quite a complicated hole to drill because you're drilling on a curved surface at an angle. What I do is I know that the edge of my workbench here is parallel to my laminate. Obviously it's a series of laminates, so I can use these lines as my, once I push this seat up against the edge here and clamp it into place, I can then make sure that when I sight along these lines, I'm running parallel. I'm drilling the hole in a straight line. I also want to make sure that the hole enters not necessarily in the middle of the rail, because these legs might be a different diameter, and in fact these legs are slightly different. This one is thinner than this one. So I use a block here which will give me, I take the measurement of this and I halve it so I get the center, and I mark along here like that. And then similarly here. So I know that this rail is going to go in at the same height relative to the bench, which is all that I'm interested in. Then I take a straight edge, which is over here, and I measure an equal distance using a square to the bottom here, mark that, and then transfer the lines down like so to get my starting point. Now, the other problem with this setup can be that if you want to use a cordless drill, you may not be able to get close enough to the hole to drill a decent hole. So I like to use an old brace and bit, and this allows me to get really close to the bench, gives me a good sight line all the way down, and I can use my stomach to press. So I've got everything nicely clamped. These are loose, but they're just there to stop the leg moving back, and when I go back, it'll go into it. So I'm sighting down along the lines here. Everything is, and the nice thing about these bits as well, they have a good, actually this is right, they have a ratchet function, so I can really just rock this. Okay, that should be enough. Just take it out. There. That's about right. So now I have my legs. So that's how I do it. And I can do the pair on the other side, and then the connecting stretcher in the middle. Thanks very much. The next stage in the process is to size the rail here. And what I like to do is go round on the underneath with a red pencil, because I know that's my final marking. Go round with a red pencil all the way round, and that denotes the extent to which the leg is driven into the seat. So all the clamps are off now, so the leg is resting. And I take two little sticks and you put them into the hole. And you sort of want to give them a little bit of tension here. And you make a mark. That's the edge. There. Take them out. And then what I do is add about 1/8 of an inch, maybe 3/16, and make another mark and clamp these. That's going to be the length of my rail, the finish length. now I need to go and finish this rail and work on that. Okay, so this is my shave horse which I built over the summer, and I really love working at it. And I've got a block here. This is birch, this is ash, this is very hard, and I can drive this in here, and it's going to leave a mark to show me where I'm up to. So I'm not sure if the camera will pick this up, but I'm about just under 1/4 of an inch here, and I need to drive this into a hole that is somewhat bigger than that. These are both ash. So in the ash, I'm almost up to 3/8, so I've got a bit more work to do on this. And I'll just use my Veritas spokeshave. I've got it set for a heavy cut here and a fine cut here. And I want to try and stay away from the edge of the tenon as much as possible. We just sort of work around this bit here. And really, the advantage of the shave horse, apart from being a really comfortable place to work, is it's just a fantastic way of clamping your material and moving it rapidly in and out of position. So there's a lot of videos on YouTube and plans and so on the internet about making shave horses. Okay, let's try that. Getting there. The ash is a bit more forgiving. I'm doing pretty well. Bit of a way to go yet. That's pretty good. That's about 3/8 of an inch, just under 1/2 an inch. And when I drive that into its hole, I think that it's going to be pretty good. And there's the fit. Now time to do the other end. Thanks for watching. So I've got one end of the tenon pretty good. I'm happy with that. Now I need to bring down the second. This is way over. So roughly find the middle here. And I've got a 5/8 Forstner here. Just going to drill a hole in the end. What that's going to do is give me a hole to work to, like this. All right. This is an Oriu draw knife, which I got in England. And that pencil, you can't see it on the camera, but that pencil allows me to work here, so just going to bring this down. Like that. So I bring down 4 faces first. And then this one. And then the octagon. This ash is really terrific, straight grained, works really well, no tear out, soft, well relatively soft. And now an octagon, I'm just going to, could use my draw knife here because it's, just because it's in my hand, but I will switch to the spokeshave in a minute. Draw knife has to be one of the easiest tools to learn to use, in my experience. I mean, there's no complicated setup, you know. Sharpening is relatively straightforward, I think. So, pretty good here. And you just, you know, just working my way around, making this into a circle. I'm pretty good now. I'm going to go to the spokeshave. Okay, I'm getting there. So the edges of my rail here are sized, and it's all good. One thing, this is a stool for myself, and I find that when my foot, when it's fully round, it gets a bit uncomfortable on the ball of the foot, so I like to put a flat in here, bit more of a platform, and I just use a number 4. Try and keep it even from each end. There's no easy way to clamp this at this point, but I found to raise it above the bed here, but putting the clamp in the vise, which is Paul Sellers' method. That's going to be nice. That's just a bit more of a place for me to rest my feet. Now I'll go back to the shave horse, and I'll just clean up these pencil marks. And that's it.